Right now at noon, government shutdown. A potential shutdown is looming after the most recent attempt to keep the government open fails to pass the Senate. Now we've got a fantastic Thursday out there. Temperatures warming up, partly cloudy skies. We'll have a look at your forecast coming up. And Arts Connection, a special.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Early morning fog leads to an early morning crash in Jasper County. This is KOAM News at Noon. I'm Chris Warner. New at noon, just before 6 this morning, a car rolled over on Baseline Boulevard and County Road 210. Officials say the vehicle was traveling south on County Road 210 and went off the roadway where it ends at Baseline Boulevard, crashing into trees and a fence. The driver was taken to an area hospital by a private vehicle. No one else was involved in the crash. Also new at noon today, Oklahoma State Superintendent Ryan Walters announced his resignation last night during an interview with Fox News. Walters said during the interview that he will now serve as CEO of Teacher Freedom Alliance, a branch of the Freedom Foundation nonprofit. Governor Kevin Stitt will now have to appoint a replacement to fill the remainder of Walters' term. And Kansas Senator Roger Marshall blames Democrats for demanding additional spending as Washington faces a funding crisis. A government shutdown looms with the deadline set for next Wednesday, October the 1st, after the Senate failed to advance the House Republican bill. The measure would have kept agencies funded through November 21st, with both parties searching for compromise. President Trump said on Truth Social Tuesday that meeting with Democratic leaders, quote, would not be productive at this time. Kansas Senator Roger Marshall says Republicans are offering a reasonable compromise in the budget standoff.
We've offered to the Democrats just to continue things at the spending levels they set. So really the levels we're talking about, every Democrat in the Senate voted for last December. But now they're wanting to add $1.5 trillion of spending, borrowing that money from our grandchildren. And the Republicans, myself, were saying, no, let's keep things at the same spending level until we get things sorted out a little bit further. So a short stopgap measure here for the next couple of months is what we're proposing.
Meanwhile, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries released a joint statement saying, in part, quote, Democrats have been clear that we are willing to sit down and work toward an agreement that protects the health care of the American people and improves their quality of life. And Oklahoma authorities arrest 2 people following a death investigation. According to the OSBI, Jacob Bailey and Renee Carpenter have been charged in connection to a death investigation from earlier this week. Monday morning, Veneta police officers responded to a property on South Foreman Street. They found an injured man who was taken to a local hospital where he was later pronounced dead. The investigation determined his injuries were consistent with homicide. Authorities have not released the victim's name. Both Carpenter and Bailey have been booked into the Craig County Jail. Now we're going to take a look at that forecast this afternoon. And as we mentioned at the start of the show, a rollover crash because of that dense fog. And that's why we tell you to slow down, be careful out there, because with those visibilities at 0, it can be quite hazardous. Live look downtown Pittsburgh, again, partly cloudy skies. 20th and range line, MoDOT camera there, a lot clearer than what it was earlier this morning, but still some cloud cover as this all continues to clear out for us. And take a look at these numbers from yesterday. We started at 60, 4 degrees above normal. We only made it 9 degrees warmer to 69, 10 degrees below normal for yesterday. We were hoping to make some low 70s, and some of us just did not. Now, thanks to the clouds, some locations have been a little cooler, like Carthage, for example, Monette, Neosho. We got some low 70s out there, but where we've gotten more sunshine, take a look. Neodesha, Sedan, you're actually pushing close to 80 right now. As we head through the rest of the evening, we're looking at that mix of mostly clear to partly cloudy skies, and then overnight tonight, unfortunately, another round of dense fog is possible, so you want to make sure you're preparing for that and that you're prepared to take precautions tomorrow morning with that potential for the dense fog. Well, more on your full forecast here in just a few more minutes. And if you're wondering just how much rain the Joplin area has received recently, take a look at this video. Water surged below the low water bridge and at Joplin's Grand Falls. The rains from Berry and Newton counties brought Shoal Creek to a crest in the Joplin area yesterday. Experts gauge the water level in the creek was 3 feet higher than it was just the day before. And the Story Walk at Leonard Park gets a new story for kids to enjoy. One Joplin invited the community to celebrate a new story installation at Leonard Park Story Walk this morning. The event featured photos with Southwest Missouri Bank's Mula Mula mascot and a children's book giveaway. The story, School is More Than a Building by Kelly Donner, reminds us that school is more than just a place to learn. It's a community full of teachers, friends, and shared experiences.
We want children to have fun memories of going to the park and reading a new story and interacting with their parents. And so this is a great way for parents to have a little break, to get out and just enjoy the fall weather out here.
That story will remain in Leonard Park through November. And sports hit the lanes yesterday in Pittsburgh. More than 100 elementary and middle school students teamed up for the Southeast Unified Bowling Competition. The one-day event paired students with and without intellectual disabilities on the same team, creating friendships and celebrating the power of inclusion. And the Southeast Kansas Symphony Orchestra carried on a tradition this week that's been going strong for more than a decade. Hundreds of 4th and 5th grade students from area schools packed into the Bicknell Family Center for the Arts for the annual children's concert. Each year, the event takes on a new theme. Last year, it was superheroes. This year, the focus is Hispanic music. Organizers hope the concert sparks a passion for music in the next generation, whether it inspires them to pick up an instrument, join a choir, or simply become lifelong lovers of the arts.
Yeah, so for me, it means a lot. I remember being a child, being a kid, and going to a concert similar to this in my country, and it really ignited my passion for music, and it made me want to do what I do now.
Miranda says even if one student walks away with that same inspiration, the mission of the concert is accomplished. Well, still ahead on KOAM News at noon, looking to get a commercial driver's license. One local college is ready to help you out. Got the details on that. And later, take a look at that. We're making cowboy brisket, you heard that right, cowboy brisket in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll be right back. Well, drivers in parts of Allen County might want to seek alternate routes beginning next month as KDOT plans to begin construction on a bridge replacement west of Moran on Nebraska Road. Construction is scheduled to begin the week of October 13th. The department says it expects the closure to last until the spring. And another heads up, some Joplin streets are going to close to general traffic Saturday evening to clear the way for a Special Olympics truck convoy and show event. The convoy will leave the 4 state trucks at 6 p.m. on Saturday. The convoy will wind through parts of South Joplin in 2 separate groups before ending at Cunningham and Mercy Parks by 7 p.m. There will be no cross traffic along the route for the duration of the convoy. In addition, 26th Street will be closed for most of the afternoon and evening on Saturday between Main and Maiden Lane. You can get details of the specific route on our website at KOAMNewsNow.com. And anyone looking to obtain a commercial driver's license can look no further than Fort Scott Community College. School offers a 6-week training program that combines classroom and hands-on instruction. Upon completion of the final exam, students can get their license, allowing them to drive large trucks. And millions of dollars will soon flow into Neosho for the purchase of the city's water and wastewater systems. Missouri American Water announced yesterday it will buy both for $34.5 million. The agreement received unanimous approval from the Neosho City Council after its submission by the Missouri Public Service Commission. This is footage from the town hall last month in August when the sale was discussed. The Neosho system provides water and wastewater services to more than 5,000 customers. Per the agreement, Neosho customers will continue to pay their existing water and wastewater rates. The deal also includes a nearly $35 million investment in system improvements. The acquisition is expected to be complete in the second half of 2026, pending Service Commission approval. And still to come on the KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
No need to spend all day in the kitchen when one appliance can get you in and out of there in no time. if you think you know.
And we are tracking warmer temperatures as we roll through the weekend and the start of next week. Take a look at that forecast, break down just how warm it's going to get when the KOAM News at Noon returns. Welcome back to the KOAM News at Noon on what started out as a very foggy day. In fact, the MoDOT camera here at 20th and Rangeline this morning at the densest fog point from this angle, you couldn't see the traffic signal down there at 15th Street. Now, in the early morning when it's pretty dark, it's pretty easy to see the lights on these signals. When the fog got really thick this morning, you could barely see 17th Street, and then just down the way at 15th, you couldn't see it at all. So obviously, a significant improvement out there for us, which is certainly nice. But we do have the potential for fog to return tomorrow morning as well. Now, this morning, though, downtown Pittsburgh looked great. There was fog around the downtown area. You could see it off in the distance. We had the fog tracker showing some of it, but not anything in the downtown area, really. So looking pretty darn good. It's still looking pretty darn good. We got those clouds out there progressively working their way out. And then the rest of our day today looks fantastic. It's going to be that mix of mostly clear to partly cloudy skies. We're expected to stay dry. Now, we still have the drought situation. We've received some rain. That helps. We need more. And regrettably, we just don't have anything really on the horizon for a while after all the rain we did just get. As we go overnight, again, into our Friday morning commute, you need to be prepared for some of that dense fog. So the big thing, of course, low beams, not your high beams, fog lights if you've got them. And the other part of this, since we're telling you right now, prepare to leave early. My commute this morning, just from Joplin up here to the station, it's not very far. Ran into some of that zero visibility. You're doing 25, 30 miles an hour on the highway. So you've got to be prepared to go slow and for your commute to take a little longer. So maybe leave a little earlier if you can to get where you're going. And remember, it's better to arrive a couple of minutes late to where you're going and rather than not arrive at all. The rest of our Friday, though, similar to today, mostly clear to partly cloudy skies, and temperatures, though, begin warming up. So our average high is about 79. We're going to start breaching that over the next several days as well. We go into Saturday, and it's really much of the same. We're looking at clear skies out there, just an absolutely beautiful day, and that's going to be about the limit of it. So just looking fantastic. Like I said, I know we need the rain. We're just not looking at any for a while. So for the rest of today, we're still looking at highs for most of us into the upper 70s. Earlier, we showed you the current temperatures. We do have, I believe it was Neodesha and Sedan, both at 79. So some locations getting a little more sunshine than everyone else. Might go into the low 80s. You might breach our average high as early as today. We'll have that north breeze at 5 to 10 miles an hour. We go into the evening and overnight again, eventually back into the upper 50s, some low 60s. That fog starts building in late tonight. Winds will be calm, so be prepared for that. We'll have the fog in the morning for tomorrow. Outside of that, 80, about the high we're looking at, and winds still expected to be calm with mostly clear and partly cloudy skies. So again, our temperatures start climbing, and they will continue to do so over the next several days. Now, the good news is at least we're not going into October in the 90s, which is certainly nice, but we are going into October above average, hanging out in the low to mid 80s with a mix of clouds and sun over the next several days as well. So again, we need some more rain. We don't really have any on the horizon at this point, but if you didn't get something done during the summertime, now's an excellent opportunity to do that. If there's anything you've put off, I personally have put off a few projects. Some of them because I can't do them yet. Others because, I just haven't wanted to. And Mother Nature's given us all another chance to get out there and maybe clean the gutters, get the roof taken care of, take care of things outside. Because eventually, as is tradition here in the 4 states, fall will be a short-lived thing. And the next thing you know, we're going to be in the 30s and 40s. I'm not saying it's because I want it. I don't like the cold. I know some of you don't either. I'm just saying it because that's sometimes how it does go around here. We've only got like 2 seasons as it is. Well, you know what's next on KOAM News at Noon? It's Mr. Food, and we're making cowboy brisket right after this. Well, brisket's always a great choice for a family meal or maybe a cookout with the family, friends, neighborhood, whatever the case may be, but it takes time to get that ready to go. So how can you cut that time in half? Well, there's an easy dish called cowboy brisket, which Howard is making in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Just because you love meat so tender that it falls off the bone, doesn't mean you need to spend all day in the kitchen. It does mean that you need to dig out your pressure cooker or Instant Pot. And for those of you who don't have either, let me tell you, you're missing out. Not only do they cook super quick, but today's versions of these are safer than ever. Here's a brisket that would take hours if we cooked it traditionally, but watch how fast it can be made using our pressure cooker. After rubbing it with a homemade spice blend, we place it in our pressure cooker on a trivet. That ensures the meat won't scorch while it cooks. Over that goes a sauce that we made by combining brown sugar, vinegar, water, ketchup, and liquid smoke. Now we top that with some sliced onions and place the lid on. After making sure the lid is locked, we set it to cook for about 50 minutes. Once it's fork tender, we'll take it out. And since the pan drippings will be loaded with flavor, we'll thicken them up with a bit of cornstarch. Then we carve this across the grain, spoon on the flavor pack sauce, and get ready for some good eating. Maybe pile some on a crusty roll so you can dig in without picking up a fork. To get the recipe for our cowboy brisket, all you need to do is visit our website. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a cowboy quick way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
I feel underdressed for that recipe, and Howard had the perfect outfit. Well, you can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. All you have to do is go to KOAMNewsNow.com. Now, here's a look at 4-state market prices. All right, upper 70s, maybe even some low 80s for some of us today. Will be about 80 tomorrow, more fog overnight into tomorrow morning. And then temperatures going above normal as we head through the last few days of September, first few days of October. Thankfully not too terribly high, but low to mid 80s, so not where we should be, but thankfully not the 90s either.
Yeah,
so.
Nice weekend to start off the fall season.
Certainly so. And we've got some stories coming up tonight at 5.
A whole lot for you. For starters, one of the cruelest and most devastating diseases, Huntington's disease, has been successfully treated for the first time. That's according to researchers in London. We're going to have more on a new gene therapy that's helping. Plus, a look at why Jasper County's birth rate is outpacing both state and national trends. And McDonald County High School culinary students heading out of the classroom for some hands-on experience. Hope you'll join us for those stories. A lot more, of course. It's coming up today. KOAM News at 5.
Certainly a lot to look forward to this evening. And, of course, some nice temperatures out there. Get out, enjoy. Like I said, if there's something you put off during the summer, this weekend's a great opportunity to get it done. That's our time for now. We'll be back at 5. Have a great rest of your afternoon.